dangerous conspiracy theories and eroding trust in public health institutions does not entitle Mr. Kennedy to lead these important efforts, referring to efforts to try to treat illnesses and disease.
Now, former Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, a Republican, might be the saltiest Republican in Congress at the moment because he has voted no on quite a few of Donald Trump's cabinet nominees. Cenk, thoughts?
Yeah, I think this one's complicated. So he's terrible on vaccines, but he could do something.
Okay, so let's everybody calm down. I don't understand why he has to be, quote, terrible on vaccines. Like it is being said that's being said just for the virtue signaling of I'm a good person, so I must say that Robert F. Kennedy is terrible on vaccines. Okay, it is sickening, the chips that are put in people's brains to make sure that they get all their statements out first before they can make a half assessment of what's going on. Okay, there are people who are completely anti-vax, and guess what? That's normal. Not everybody has to take everything that people want them to take. Okay, now let's get just really seriously. Okay, this video is, about the whole RFK Jr. confirmation hearing, which, at first I was like kind of happy about, but it's just so many people in the government that I just don't trust. Then, so now I'm just like, I don't know if I trust this either, but it is what it is. Here we are today. So let's go ahead and get into it. And then, of course, we have Ana, showing off that she was with the girls, Megyn Kelly and everything. I don't understand this weird relationship between Ana and Megyn that's happening here. 1 minute that's her girlfriend, the next minute she's talking about her. So it's like, Ana, what are you doing? There's just a lot to unpack in this video.
That would be heroic. So let's talk about that in a second.
All right, so let's talk about how many of the senators voted to confirm RFK Jr. as the Health and Human Services Secretary. So the 52-48 vote was largely along party lines, though Republican Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky once again joined the Democrats to oppose the nomination. McConnell has now voted against 3 of Trump's cabinet nominees, more than any other Republican senator. So the other 2 that he voted against include Pete Hegseth for Defense Secretary and Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. Tulsi Gabbard was also confirmed yesterday for her position. Now, getting back to Kennedy, he will now serve as the nation's top public health official. And while he certainly has some issues, many of which we've talked about on this show, especially in regard to his views on vaccinations, this little excerpt from Politico.
Like, we just gotta keep saying that. Like, we just really have to keep saying, oh, vaccinations. Guess what? Like, I don't believe in putting all chemicals inside of me if I don't need to. Jeez, I'm getting so bored with the same old, what is like the flag waving, bro? Like, come on. By the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos.
Is pretty interesting. So they write that from drug makers to doctors' organizations, groups thought to have the clout to steer policy and funding in Washington because they enjoyed bipartisan support and huge lobbying budgets, have remained silent about Kennedy. And that's not because they aren't worried, writes Politico, but because they didn't think they could stop him or think the cost of speaking out would be too steep. 5 people representing health groups granted anonymity to speak candidly said. By staying mum, they hope to limit fallout if Kennedy follows through on his plans to strip the industry, meaning the healthcare industry, to the studs. So to be sure, pharmaceutical companies and the healthcare industry is actually really worried about him. And they should be, because something that you and I have noticed, Cenk, that I think a lot of people still don't believe us on, and I don't blame them, is that there is this faction of the Republican base that wants things to change, similar to how the left-wing base wants things to change. So I'm gonna give you a very specific example. This was during my interview on Megyn Kelly's show yesterday. I brought up the issue of Medicare and how our Medicare system is unable to negotiate drug prices. And I want you to pay close attention to how she reacted to this. Take a look.
Okay, before you glaze Megyn Kelly reacting like you and the girls are hanging out with each other, Ana Kasparian, you do not understand the real base. You don't. None of y'all do. Y'all can't. Y'all are not allowed to fully understand the real base, as far as I'm concerned, because y'all are paid not to understand the real base. I'm so sincere, because right now the progressives are really mad at TYT because every time you turn around, Cenk is going to grovel to somebody else. I mean, I think he just left Dallas not too long ago, groveling to, Glenn Beck and Dr. Phil, and saying that this is the populist base and they want this, the populist base wants that. These are not populists of MAGA or, of people. I, MAGA's not what it used to be to me. Drop a comment below and let me know if you think that I'm taking it too far when I say that, or if I'm right.
But he would go down as the most popular president in American history if he allowed for Medicare to negotiate drug prices. So Americans and our Medicare system wasn't being price gouged by pharmaceutical companies.
Why won't he do that? I mean, I know why he won't lower the retirement age for Social Security, and he doesn't want to make any Medicare cuts or do anything that's going to increase costs for seniors. But why wouldn't he allow Medicare to negotiate costs?
Honestly, I think if this issue was brought to him by anyone in a very serious way, he would attempt to do it. He doesn't really care about
maybe Dr.
what
Oz
is or isn't allowed, right? So yeah, I mean, that would be incredible. I don't think that he's paying attention to that, but I think if you talk to him and ask him to work on that issue, it could really save the American taxpayers a lot of money. That would be fantastic.
That, Anna? I mean, this isn't something I spent a lot of time on, but this sounds like something that wouldn't typically be done because most people are beholden to the drug companies who don't want this. And RFKJ is not beholden to the drug companies. That's one of the great things about him. That's one of the things the left hates about him. But he, technically oversees Medicare now, and when he gets confirmed, which is going to be tomorrow. And Dr. Oz directly oversees Medicare and Medicaid. And so, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they actually will touch the untouchable.
Oh, it would embarrass Democrats so much if they managed to do that. It would be the most embarrassing thing for Democrats who claimed under the Biden administration that they were going to do it, but they're beholden to the pharmaceutical companies as well.
That's and this is why the progressives get annoyed with Anna. So that's like the first thing you thought about when she said that. To me, when I heard her say that, first of all, I didn't hear anything here that was so exciting, like, oh my God, let's, put her on the pedestal. She said a thing. We need to stop this whole thing about trophies for basic elementary level, assessment of life. Okay, let me calm down a little bit, right? But, when I heard them talking, I'm like, how are they going to really figure out this Medicare stuff? Like, what happened with Obamacare is beyond belief. Like, it's not even just about insurance payments and everything. It's what's happening behind the scenes with that. The regulations, everything, it changed healthcare more than you guys even understand. I'm telling you this as a nurse. That's what I'm thinking about is the complications and how could it even be done, with Medicare, Medicaid, all of this. Girl says that the Democrats would be embarrassed, and that tickles her, right? What are you trying to be, a cool girl? I don't know. Anna, to me, looks like somebody who didn't have a problem making friends. I just it's I don't know, man. It's just starting to feel kind of what is this? Nobody. I don't think like that. Like, oh yeah, the Dems are going to be really mad if we. I don't know.
Claimed under the Biden administration that they were going to do it, but they're beholden to the pharmaceutical companies as well. So look. Some people might not take kindly to the framing, but you got to frame things in a way that speaks to the right. And I just find it hard to believe that right-wing voters want to be scammed by the pharmaceutical industry and price gouged when it comes to our Medicare system, paying for pharmaceutical drugs for the elderly. I'm sure they don't want that. So let's work together and actually get something done. Because the methods that we have relied on so far, which is relying on corrupt politicians in Congress to do it, has not really worked out so well. and to draw attention to the fact that, there are corrupt members on both sides of the political aisle, and that we need to do something about that in order to actually accomplish the right policies as it pertains to Medicare, I think is the right way to go about it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens anyway. I don't know, man. Like, we'll see what happens. Out here. Let me just stop there. We'll see what happens. And thank you for this lovely report, Anna, and thank you for reminding us that Megyn Kelly said a thing. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.